It's another busy day on the ranch. I've got a bunch of little jobs and some big jobs that I'm hoping to get done today. The first being unloading this pipe off of the trailer. I went and got this yesterday. This is going to be used for the little manger back at the ranch. But before I can do anything with this, I need to use this trailer for some other things. So we need to get this off of here and we'll just see how far we can get. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. So proud of you. Good job. That's why we keep her around. Kitty might look like a sweet little cat, but that thing is a killing son of a gun. I think I've told the story before, but back in the house that we used to live in, we would leave the laundry room window open so she could come and go. It's kind of our poor man's version of a cat door. And one day we got home and there was blood all over the kitchen, and all we found was the head of a rabbit and a cat that looked awful fat and happy. What do you got there? This last piece of metal here on the trailer is not going to be for the manger project. This is actually for another little project that I have planned for the 8N. See, the tie rods on the 8N, or at least the ball joints on the tie rods, are shot. And the way that those tie rods are configured, the ball joint is like part of the tie rod. Now, if you buy replacement tie rods, they're about $80 a piece, and they are not like this. They are actually, they basically copied the ones off of an NAA. So I figured instead of spending that much money on new tie rods, that I can make my own. So that is what I'm going to try to do. So if making new tie rods for a Ford 8N is something that you want to see, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to film that process. Well, I got a puppy to find and then we can get going. Last night I went out and chiseled the hay field and actually was able to get the first pass done. The field actually chiseled up a lot better than I thought it would. And originally I was thinking that I was gonna have to chisel it twice, but now after looking at it, I think one time is enough, but I do wanna go back and double up on the spot where the bales didn't completely burn and try to get that spread out as best I can. So we're gonna head over and do that. I've got the trailer with me because I still have 3 good bales over there, and I figured now is as good a time as any to get them brought home. Well, I was out here till about midnight last night, but as you can see, this ground actually worked up really nice. And at first I was thinking, when I was disking the burn line, that the fire had something to do with it, but the whole field is this way, even the spots that didn't burn. So my new theory is that this ground worked up so good because we got so little rain this winter that it never really had a chance to compact again. So like I said before, I can't really see chiseling this whole thing again. I think we're ready for the disc, with the exception of a few spots out there where the bales didn't completely burn. We're gonna go out there and kind of spot chisel those in, hopefully break them up and spread them out a little bit. But yeah, this field's ready for the disc. I still have the chisel hooked up from last night, so the plan is to jump on the tractor, hold Callie on my lap, and drive back over to the hayfield. It's not very far down the road, so I think we'll be okay. But up to now, she's only really driven with me in the side-by-side, so the tractor is going to be a little bit different, but I think she'll be okay. You ready to ride on the tractor? Come on. Well, I thought Callie did pretty good riding on the seat like that. At first I was gonna hold her on my lap, but that just didn't seem to work too well. And I kind of remembered when I was a little kid and my grandpa was teaching me how to drive a tractor, I used to sit in the seat like that and he would sort of stand and sit on the fender like I was just doing. So anyway, I'm gonna go out and chisel these bales. I'm not gonna try to take Callie out there with me. This is a really good opportunity for me to start teaching her to sit in the back of the truck and just hang out while I'm working, because I'll be able to keep an eye on her. She's in the shade, and I have made sure that she is plenty tuckered out and really just ready for a nap. So I think this should go well. So one thing I am going to want to do is take everything out of the back of the truck that she can chew on that might cause a problem. In this case, I think it's just going to be my gas jug and my jumper cables. The rest of that stuff, she's not going to hurt. Antifreeze, yeah, probably don't want that in there either. Girl. I think because I'm trying to incorporate this hay into the ground, I'm going to lower the chisel a little bit so that it digs a little bit deeper. Please don't be broken. I think it's still working. Of course, it had to land lens down, right? So that's basically the idea. That's about as good as we're gonna get it. I wish that they just would have let these bales burn out completely and then we wouldn't have this issue. Because the ones that burned all the way, as soon as you hit them with the chisel, they disappear. So about the best we can do with these is just spread them out as best we can. And when I come back over with the disc, that'll chop them up a little bit more too. So it's just what we got to do. I can actually still see the core of the bale here, so the chisel's not going to break this up. I'm going to have to kind of kick this around with my feet and get it broke up. I'm starting to think that maybe what I need to come out here with is some harrows to spread this out, and I might end up doing that. We'll see. I'm going to try to disc it once and then we'll just kind of see what all this stuff does. If it's not to my liking, then I think I will come out here with some harrows. I think that's about all I'm gonna get out of this chisel. So we're gonna call it good for now. I'll come back out here with the disc, and if things just aren't working, then I'll have to bring the harrows out on the little tractor and try to spread this out a little bit more. I think this is gonna be okay though. I've got it worked in the ground pretty good, but we just won't really know until we get out here with the disc. So now I'm gonna run the tractor back up to the yard there, park the chisel, and then we can go after these 3 round bales, put them on the trailer, and head back home. I'm driving by these bales on my way back to the pickup, and I just feel like I'd be a fool if I didn't grab one. Even though I've got the chisel behind me, it's gonna make things a little bit interesting, but if I grab one now, it'll save me a trip back to the truck, so I gotta do it. All right, let's get the chisel off of the tractor. I need to park it somewhere where I can easily back up to it with my truck, because I think after we go drop these bales off, I'll probably just come right back here to move that chisel. Now, last thing that I need to do before I can take the tractor back is take the bale spear off of the front, because in theory, I won't need a bale spear over here anymore. If anything, I will only need it back at the ranch. So rather than make my dad store it in his shop, I'll take it home and store it in mine. She'd probably be fine just to sit in the back of the truck while I drive the tractor back, but to tell you the truth, as thirsty as I am, I'm betting she's the same way, so I think we're both going to get a drink over at my parents' house. Just pulling in here to the ranch, and I don't have my 8N here, and I don't even have it running yet again. But what I'm hoping I can do is just roll these round bales off the back of the trailer. It shouldn't be too hard, but I've got all this hay in the yard and all this stuff out, so it's gonna be a little tight getting turned around here, but I think I can do it. Now let's see how easily these things are gonna roll. All right, nothing to it. The only way I kind of screwed up here, really it'd been nicer if the bales were about 20 feet to the left, but that's okay. I think I can still get on them with the tractor once I get the new starter put on, which I have sitting in the shop. So I think that's the next job on the list. I'm back here at the house now, and I think I've pretty much got this new starter pre-assembled and ready to go on the tractor. So I'm gonna go pull the old one off first, hold them up side by side, and just make sure that everything looks right. Then we can put the new starter on and see if that fixes the tractor. It's gonna be kind of hard to film on this tractor because the loader frame is kind of in the way, but the first thing that I want to do is unhook the battery so that I don't accidentally shock myself. And now that that is done, I can remove the 2 connections on this starter. The first one is going to be here on the back of the solenoid. And the second one is going to be on the rear end of the solenoid. With all the wiring disconnected, now I can take off the 2 bolts that hold the starter to the tractor. Now that I've got the 2 bolts off completely, with some finagling, I should be able to get this starter out of here. There are some minor differences between the new starter and the old starter, but I think the things that I can see that are different are not going to matter. So this new starter should work. Let's put it on there and find out for sure. Boy, too loose for the wrench, too tight for my finger. All right, well, it seemed to drop in there pretty good, so now it's just a matter of hooking all the wiring back up and testing it out. I've got everything buttoned back up on the starter, so now I guess it's time to see if it works. That's what I'm talking about. It would appear that the old girl is ready to go back to work. I don't think I'm gonna move bales today, but I do need to move a little bit of dirt before I start water tonight. So I think that would be a great job to break her in. Let's go do it. It's not quite like picking up dirt with a big tractor. One of the problems that I have when I irrigate out here is that I lose a lot of irrigation water right there. It goes into the little field, which in turn sends it down a ditch down to the drainage canal. So it doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So the plan is to dump a bucket of dirt here, or maybe 2, to sort of block this off, and then that should direct the water right on down where we need it to go. There's a couple more holes as we go down there a little bit further, so we'll patch this one first and then we'll go take care of those. I might have to come back here and fix this up a little bit with the shovel or the rake, but I think there is enough dirt here to do what I need it to do. So I'm gonna run down and grab another bucket and get the next hole. Well, these patches look pretty good. I think they're gonna work. Thanks for hanging out at the ranch with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.